it has to meet.
Okay, so in as far as we had the 8th of August election, we now have the 26th of October election. What is the difference between that IEBC on the 8th of August and the one we will see going into the 26th in all aspects, whether it's personnel, whether it's your infrastructure, whether it's your partnering in systems and other issues?
What we've done so far is to look at the observations made by the Supreme Court. It's very clear that we must rethink our infrastructure, especially when it comes to results management, both in terms of the procedure and the systems that we've put in place. So what we're going to see is that the procedure will vary a little bit. In the last election, based on the Court of Appeal decision, we had taken the position that there was no need for us to deal with Form 34S at the National Tallying Center because they will have been processed by the constituency returning officers. Remember that the Court of Appeal had said the results at that particular point are final. So what the National Returning Officer was to do was to receive the 290 forms from the respective constituencies. But this time around, what the Supreme Court is saying is that now we have to bring all those forms together, verify one against the other, and that will have an implication in terms of how we spread out our officers and how we set out, how we deploy our technology so that we have some sense of seamlessness from the polling station, constituency, and the National Tallying Center. I think that's the main issue. The other bit is a complementary mechanism when it comes to results transmission. What will be the alternative to failure in terms of transmission? We think that we must come up with a clear procedure that is well communicated to all stakeholders so that we are all on the same page. If you ask us, I think we did quite a lot of work in the last election, but it appears that not many of our stakeholders came along with us. So that's one of the greatest lessons that we learned. And that's why when the chairman says, let's sit down and dialogue, he basically wants to bridge the gap of information between what we know as a process of the election and what our stakeholders ought to know as a process of the election.